Ayo is here on the Shanti Show, and today I got
Bam.
the show. And then Shanti couldn't be here today. He busy doing some other stuff right now, but still want to knock this one out.
Period. Let's go.
What does BAM represent?
BAM stands for Because Art Matters. I'm an artist, and I just want to let people know like nothing exists without art. So I'm in here to spread this message. Let's go.
What type of art do you do?
So I do visual arts. I do acrylics, oils, mixed medias, stuff like that.
Hmm. All right, and then mix acrylics, and then you say you do music. My bad, I was looking at that.
No music. Mixed medias. I don't do no music. I can't rap. I would like to think I can rap, but no, just mixed medias, acrylics, oils, just anything on canvas.
For the ignorant people, what's mixed medias?
Mixed medias is like collages, paper mache, different type of things that you can incorporate and put on a canvas that don't include paint necessarily.
Mm, for sure. Shoot, what's your best painting you did so far? You think?
My best painting, um, it's hard to say what my best painting is, because I evolve so much with every one of them. Each one is my favorite until I do the next one. So like my current favorite, I did one with Animaniacs, and I think that was the one that spoke most to my spirit. So yeah, that would be my favorite right now.
Yeah. And then what made that one your favorite?
I think the message behind it, the creativity behind it, the nostalgia behind it, it kind of like took my ability to the next level, a place that I didn't know I could go. So I was super proud of myself with that one.
Let me ask you two different questions.
Mm-hmm.
What make you different? What make you different in the art scene? What makes you different in the art scene being LGBT? What separates you from everybody else? How do you feel in the industry being a little bit different? I feel like that does make you a minority.
For sure. Sometimes I forget that I'm an LGBTQ artist. A lot about me is even though that I can identify as she, her, I can still tap into they, them, and he. And I paint a lot of males, which can kind of play on my masculinity and not so much into my femininity role. So I think that separates me from a lot. I don't do a lot of, feminine artwork. I do a lot of masculinity and stuff just to play on that femininity and masculinity is subjective.
Are you African American?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. So how does being African American separate you in that field? Because I feel like African Americans, you're not the typical rapper singer. You do art, so you may be in a room. I feel like in my eyes, I feel like you'll be in a room with a tux on or something like that on some fancy shit, and then people would think you don't know Picasso or this or that.
Mm-hmm.
They think you don't know ABC, but then you probably know more about them than you. Like you
For
probably.
sure.
So like, how does that separate you in that field?
I think African Americans have a certain type of history and experience that goes into our artwork. So art is life. So life imitates art. So the things that we go through and the things and struggles that we have to endure as an artist can go into our pains and creativity that kind of separates us from the general aspects of like maybe Picasso. He didn't have the same struggles that I have. Even though I'm well aware of who he is and what he does and Andy Warhol and stuff like that, but they didn't have to deal with the same type of struggles getting into the industry and fighting to be noticed and getting that $100,000 sale for your piece of artwork versus what it may take for them to get into those rooms. So I think my experience as an African American makes me a little bit different because I've had different experiences from them.
Out of curiosity, who inspired you? Who inspires you on your artistic journey? Like I say Picasso because that's the only person I really even know that's even in that field, kind of like that. No whole shit.
I think my experience and my inspiration comes from everyday life. I would say I got an inspiration from my uncle who had been drawing well before I knew I could draw. And my grandmother, she paints and stuff like that. So it comes from regular people, not so much Picasso and things like that, even though their art is beautiful and
I think
Basquiat and stuff like that.
I'm thinking like on a music perspective. I'm thinking like you hear some shit. Even Eminem, he says he hear a bar from somebody that Lil Wayne do and be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
You ever see somebody that come out with a new painting and be like, bro, like that keeps taking it to the next level and be like, whoa, that was,
For sure. It's,
who
and
is that? Whoa, who
it's
give you that?
everyday people, for sure. It's everyday people with everyday experiences that are elevating and going above and beyond, that can shift your trajectory for what you want to paint and what you want to be like, versus people that are already established. Like Basquiat, I appreciate his artwork, but I can't relate to it. And even though he's a multi-million-dollar selling artist, I can't necessarily relate to his art, but I can relate to everyday people and like Oshun and Sheefy McFly and stuff like that. That people who are everyday people from Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I feel like you one of them underground artists. You like
For
underground
sure,
artists? Like,
for
I
sure,
feel like
yes,
you like underground artists more than
yeah,
the mainstreams.
yeah, for sure. Underground is where it's at.
For sure. Why so?
I think underground artists have a certain type of hustle and a grit that goes into their artwork that isn't just I don't want to say given to them, but we have to work 10 times harder to be seen, because underground is like we low key. You know what I'm saying? We don't paint necessarily the things that are in season or what everybody is used to. We paint shit that we like and that we want to do. That if you don't like it, so what? Fuck you. So,
Understood.
yeah.
How'd you get into this? Out of curiosity.
Man, I've been drawing since I can remember, since I knew how to write. I've been drawing. So, I think I've taken that throughout the years in my life. I think art has given me an avenue of creativity and being able to speak for myself that my actual body couldn't do for itself. I was bullied for a long time from elementary school to 11th grade, and art was my outlet to be able to create and stand up and speak for myself.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Me and Shanti was just talking about that. It was like, that dude, he be iffy. He be doing shit intentionally iffy. He a dude wearing a crop top in
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, and his mom taught him. He's like, "Hey, you better stop that. You know, Detroit, they be gay bashing." And it's like, so then that was the type of shit you got to do with shit like that.
Oh yeah. Gay bashing and stuff is like I said, my experiences have gone a lot into my creativity and being, LGBTQ and being a masculine presenting female or human. I've had to encounter a lot of different things, and a lot of people aren't so accepting of it. So I've had to deal with a lot of that stuff, but it doesn't stop me from being who I want to be. I will wear a crop top any time of the day. You know what I'm saying?
I get you. That's one thing I love about Detroit. I think Detroit is like one of the boldest cities in the fucking
Oh, for
America.
sure.
Like, I feel
You
like,
gotta have balls.
yeah, you gotta have bars in
You
Detroit.
gotta
Like,
have balls.
no whole shit. And I think
Yeah.
I get that shit from my mama. Like, even like I wasn't too on the artsy fartsy side,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, even me, I like skateboarding. Like, the skate park on 6 Mile by the Dollar General.
Yeah.
I used to go there all the fucking time, and then it's with the white boys and aerobics and then
Yeah.
shit like that. And they'd be like, niggas make fun of me and everything. I'd be like, nah. My mom, I remember one day I was gonna put my skateboard up. I was going back in the house, and she's like, "What, nigga? You better fucking skateboard, nigga.
Look, you
If
do
you
what
want to
you
do what you want to
do
do
what the
that."
fuck you want to do, and who gonna stop you?
And one thing, like this is like to all y'all artists out there, like especially Detroit artists, because see a lot of fuck shit going on in Detroit. I'm gonna tell you this: you gonna be a way better artist, and you gonna stand out way more being yourself than trying to be what the fuck everybody else on and what everybody else is doing, trying to be cool. I think especially me being a nigga and you being a lady too, you black. Us being niggas and not being on that street wave and on that cool wave, trying to be cool and shit like that. I think that makes us like 10,000 times better than everybody else.
Being true to yourself is what elevates you from everybody else, because it's easy to
Honestly,
follow, the trends and everything like that. It takes a lot of guts and balls to step aside and say, I'm gonna do what I want to do, regardless if it's in style or not. To say, I'm gonna wear this crop top and I'm a skateboard because I like to do it, not because you may feel a way about it or she may feel a way about it, or might not be what guys do or might not be what girls do. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do, and who gonna stop me?
understood. Out of curiosity, what type of food you like?
What type of food do I like? I love all types of food. I am a foodie, and art is being a chef too. So I cook. You know what I'm saying? I cook a lot, and I love me a good stew, neck bones, turkey necks. I love the good home hometown food that get down deep in the soul food. That's my favorite. But then I go for tacos next.
Understood. Out of curiosity, what do you think your story is? What do you think it is being an artist from Detroit, and how do you think the Detroit art scene looks like? For people that don't know, what does it look like?
For one, Detroit art scene is dope. Detroit art scene is it's so underrated because a lot of people, you have to know somebody who knows somebody to be a part of everything that's really going on. Like I seen an exhibition that they have in a liquor store right now. It's actually current right now. Right, it's right now. You can go into a liquor store and they have a whole art exhibition going on until I think the 5th of May. And I think that's something that's so unique and dope because you do have a lot of people who will go into a liquor store just to get, wraps, Rillos, this and that, get a fifth of Henny or whatever like that. But to incorporate art into that community and try to broaden that horizon is something so dope.
That shit dope, but
It's dope.
at
It's
another time, it's so fucked up
dope.
to me. I ain't gonna lie. I hate that it's so many. These are two things I hate about my city, Detroit. I hate that it's so many liquor stores, and I hate that it's so much fucking abandoned buildings. Those are two things, and I get money. I want to change those two things.
That is true. That is true.
But saying that liquor store, nigga, I know everybody gonna see this shit.
But that's the thing about it, to try to grasp a community that is so engulfed in whatever society has placed upon us, because we didn't, we don't own a lot of these liquor stores and stuff like that. It's not something that we can control, but it is there. So why not use that as a catalyst to change people's frame of mind?
You know something so crazy? I realized.
Well,
What's the what religion? You Christian or Muslim?
I am spiritual. I'm not religious.
All right, Muslims. I just realized Muslims. They like it's like a sin for them to drink, and a lot of these it kind of fucked me up in the head. Every time I go to a liquor store, there's a Muslim behind the fucking counter. There's an Arab Muslim right behind the fucking counter. That should be like,
Well,
damn. It's a y'all don't even drink this shit. It's like how when Snoop Dogg said or some big rapper said they don't even let their kids listen to their music or rap music or some shit like that, but they be making this shit for all the other kids and shit.
well, if you gonna make that point, it's a lot of red collar people who will fund guns and violence and stuff and bring guns over and stuff like that, but don't actually engage in that type of activity and will sell guns to a minor and stuff like that. But my grandmother is Muslim and so is my auntie, so I do have a certain type of appreciation for them. So I'm not going to say, so to speak, that they kind of stand by that and push that narrative. But what I will say is that you have a lot of different type of people willing to push narratives in different type of communities for different types of reasons. So what I will say is that we need to start having a mind of our own and start having our own communities, start pushing our own businesses and stuff like that, so we can change that narrative.
Cool. Out of curiosity, if you art had to stand for one thing, what is it?
If art had to stand for one thing,
If you left, God forbid, if you left right now, what would your art have to stand for? What would you want your art to stand for? And be like, hey, this is me.
um, that's a good question. I mean, art imitates life. So what I will say is that nothing exists without art, and God was a creator, and I'm made in His image. So I am ultimately a creator myself. So I put myself in the highest regard of being a higher being. I will say, having that ability to create my own universe and control. And I would wish that everybody else would kind of get that aspect in creating, is that you have the ability to be godlike, to be made in His image and be the creator and have that ability to create your own world and universe.
What you planning on this year? What you got planned for you?
I want to take over the world, Pinky. What about you, Brain?
You said Pinky. What's Pinky?
Pinky
Shit
in
flew
the
right
brain?
in my head.
Pinky in the brain? Oh my god.
Now what's that?
Pinky in the brain? Stop it. Now I feel old. So Pinky and the Brain is a cartoon from the 90s. And then he would
I wasn't born yet.
You weren't born yet. Pinky was the Brain was an evil scientist genius. He wasn't evil, but he was a scientist and he was a genius. And he had a best friend that was Pinky. So every night they would sit back and try to he said, "What do you want to do tonight, Pinky?" I don't know, try to take over the world. So every night he would devise a plan to try to take over the world in his own genius genius way. So with Mara, I want to take over the world.
I want to ask you this because shit, your partner just told me. I just asked her this. Do you think money? Would you stop at a certain point of money? When you get a certain point of money, would you stop? Because you said a lot of money. If she get too much money, it'd be like it'd be. Is there such thing as having too much money? I ask that.
I don't think that there's a such thing as too much money. I think your mental capacity has to grow with that. You have to be like for me. I do want the money, but I don't want to be. I don't want to be famous. I want to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Fame is not my ultimate goal. I want to be comfortable. I want to be able to go live in a country on a farm and fish whenever I want to and be able to pay my bills and not worry about, you know, the next stress or so. But I don't need like a new bubble wrap Tesla and stuff like that. So I don't think no too much money is not a thing. I think having the mental capacity to be able to handle that type of stuff is a thing.
Don't get money and lose your mind.
Okay.
What's the what's the what's the what are your politics views on politics? And are you voting this year? And if so, why not? And if so, yes, you gotta tell me why.
You know, I true story is that I'm not always a fan of voting. I've had the experience of just feeling like my vote doesn't count, but I will encourage everybody to vote because my ancestors and everything have fought for that right, and just it just may be proven that we have some say so in what happens in our future. Do I necessarily believe that? No, I don't.
I gotta dive into you. I gotta dive into your shit now.
Go ahead.
Come on now.
Go ahead.
Why do you say your vote doesn't count? Why do you say your vote doesn't matter?
I do believe
Because
that
I'm seeing these people. I'm telling you, I'm gonna give you my side. I'm seeing these people. I'm seeing the sheriffs. I'm seeing the sheriffs, the judges, the politicians, the defenses, and the prosecutors, the district attorneys, and everything. And then we get to choose all those people. In my eyes, I'm looking like, oh, we can choose these niggas. And then if these niggas keep putting all my niggas in jail, we can veto these niggas, but not choose these niggas.
What makes you think you really get the right to choose? What makes you think that you are actually choosing? What makes you think that a certain set of people aren't putting a certain set of people in front of your face and giving you the illusion of an option, and still the person that they want to win is going to win ultimately at the end of the day?
Because I'm seeing these white folks coming up, because these white people, they got this mindset. They can pop up and do this shit today. I'm seeing people that ain't fucking politicians. That's just, oh, I was a judge. Oh, yeah, I was a police officer. Yeah, I just want to run for sheriff. I'm looking at you can't fake the funk on my mama. You can't fake the funk. I feel like us as black people, really, we don't just look at people. I'm looking at these folks and being like, oh, what the fuck you do? Oh, what'd you do? And I'm talking to other people and be like, oh, yeah, she's a police officer. She used to pick us up all the way on Mondays and Tuesdays, take us out the hood to do ABC. So I'm looking at the shit and it's like, oh, you can't fake the funk to a big degree. So I'm like, oh, damn. These people really just, granted, I will say, a lot of these people, it's like some shit like, you don't have to have a law degree to run for a judge, but all the judges got law degrees. You know what I'm saying?
But why do you think that is, though?
Because I say you need that certain type of knowledge, and they have that background in that fucking network.
But some of them don't have that background.
That background?
Yeah, some of them don't. It depends on
you say
what
that
they're trying to do.
You say that they handpicked. I would say that you do have to be in a certain circle, but I do believe it's cool niggas in that circle, and I do believe we have the power to choose the cool niggas and not them asshole niggas that keep locking up niggas for 20 years and then the white boys get 2 years. I'm like,
for sure. And I will hope that everybody in your generation has that idea and keeps voting. I think for my generation,
they not. That's what I'm saying. Like niggas not. That's what I'm trying. Like I really want to have a conversation.
For sure, because I mean, it's a lot of with the younger generation. It's a whole different type of reason why they don't vote versus why
I think it's the same shit though. I think, and I really believe. Wait, have you done the research? Have you looked at these niggas?
I mean, in certain aspects. And
I'm not talking about really to me. I'm saying honestly. I'm saying anybody that want to vote, fuck the big niggas, fuck the Trump and the Biden or the. I don't give a fuck about them. Big Gretch, really her too, really. City council, I'm looking at city council members. I'm looking at sheriff. I'm looking at district attorney, and I'm looking at the judges in my fucking county. Look at those people. Those are the niggas that's running. That's why we keep going to jail and shit like that. run those shits. And I think I don't want the first time for you. Fuck it, we all niggas. I don't want the first time us to see next time we see a judge or some shit like that. Like, you a beautiful black woman. You're a beautiful black woman. Beautiful black woman. I don't want the first time for them to see y'all hair fucked up. That's the only time they may see black people.
I've been to jail before. I've been in the system.
But that's the first time they see you.
I had to deal with it firsthand. So I've seen a different type of light than you have. I've had to see the unfair ways that it works and for different type of reasons. But that is no excuse not to vote.
But that's the only time I'm saying this though. The first time I seen the judge was in a tuxedo at a fundraiser. So when she see me in the court, she gonna be like, "Oh damn, hold up, what the fuck going on here? This is unnatural. Why are you wearing a white beater and what the fuck is going on here?" She's not gonna be like, "Oh, that's what niggas do."
You think so?
You get what I'm saying?
She's
gonna be like, "Oh wait, no, I seen him. He's a cool ass nigga. Hold up, wait, what the fuck?"
And you think that's gonna uphold in court? Her personal perception of you and what it may be. You think that's gonna uphold in the court of law?
You can't get that shit out of somebody's mind. I think you can't control that. I feel like unconsciously.
Agree to disagree.
Unconsciously, you don't think that's like a thing? Like everybody thinks?
She can be your judge can be an upsetting person and may have very well, thoughts about you and the man that you can be. Is that going to uphold in the court of law when she has a lot of people behind her and helping her make these decisions and how she moves and this and that? So it's still a chain of command. There's always going to be a chain of command. So you still have one person that you may feel is a great person. There's always going to be a chain of command behind her, and who has and who has that type of authority. So it's a deeper conversation that I'm pissed. That we'll get into later. But
we're gonna get into this later. Thank y'all for watching Ashanti. So boom boom wop wop. We'll see y'all later. Dark side.
Bye.